everyone, hi, Smita here. Oh, I have my thingy, my necklace. I couldn't put it on because I like to have it. As Tantis was said, and I'm in dead. So, hello everyone, hi, this is Mita, and today I want to talk about Uranus, right? Because like I've been saying that Uranus has made a whole lot of changes in our relationships, in our lives, and it's going to continue to do so, particularly because now it's entered the Uranus sign, right? So with Uranus in the why am I saying Uranus sign? Taurus sign. Taurus sign is about family and relationships, intimate relationships, and of course, on this channel we are all about relationships. So it doesn't matter if it's your relationship with your lover, relationship with your family member, colleague, this is what we deal with here. I'm not confident in my technical setup today because Mercury is retrograde, so if it switches off, I will have to be forced to complete my recording off screen per usual. But what I wanted to talk about, or to really get into, is the technicalities behind the Uranus movement around the sun or throughout the signs, because we must remember we do have 12 signs, right? We have 12 signs, and so with the 12 signs that we have, Uranus takes 7 years in each and every sign. This is what we know because, as we know, it takes 84 years to orbit around the sun. That's a long time, but it is a long time that gives enough room for what needs to happen. Because as we know, the planets, the stars, Earth, they are all aligned to help us reach our soul purposes, right? So now with the Uranus having entered the Taurus sign of family, of values, traditions, things that we know in terms of our families, our backgrounds, our values, our money, our bank account, our food. These are all going to change, okay? These are all going to change. We cannot deny that, or we cannot act like it's not going to happen. It will happen. It ought to happen. It's meant to happen, right? I do want to just go back to the Aries sign where it was prior when it comes to Uranus. We have seen what has changed over the past 7 years. A whole lot of body, is it called dysphoria? I don't know that name, that word. How, people have been feeling weird about their bodies, how people have not been enjoying their bodies, wanting to change from one look into another look, like from looking like a man into looking like a woman, from looking like a woman into looking like a man. Do you know why? that happened? It is because of Uranus in Aries. Why? We must remember that Aries sign is about what? Their body. Right? That's the Aries sign. The physical appearance, your body, your existence in terms of a physical form. And so, when Uranus is on the body, it is making sudden changes, sudden thoughts, because this is also where your head is, sudden thoughts about what you look like, who you are, personality as well, because because Aries is all about personality, how we appear in the external form to other people, right? So we do know that, we do agree on that. So Uranus came here and said, hey, I'm going to change everything regarding to how you're feeling about yourself, about how you look like, about your body. I'm going to just make a whole lot of transformations or changes that are revolutionary. I'm going to bring things that are not known and make them to be, advanced, to be technologically related, new discoveries, new ways of doing things, new ways of appearing to others, to our families, to our partners, to our spouses. People are no longer going to see us the way that they knew us, because now Uranus is on the Aries sign, which is all about body. So a lot of people went through this, all of that. However, they have been going through it even before, but it was highlighted within the past 7 years because Uranus was now robust, because it's literally on the Aries sign, making everyone, 7th house, everyone to see what was happening, when it comes to the physical changes of people. Another advancement that happened was relating to the structures of relationships. We did see that a whole lot of females, women, they started to want to be liberated from relationships. Because Uranus is also about liberation. When we talk about Uranus, we are also talking about liberation. Becoming free, flying away, So we then got a lot of independent women who were saying, I no longer value marriage. I value myself, my independence, what I want, my dreams, my goals, how I look like, all of those things, because Uranus was on the Aries sign. Okay, so we experienced all of those things, and of course, many more. Personalities also changed. Really, personalities of people changed. People who were more now outspoken, also thanks to obviously the changes in the social media. Because if Uranus is on Aries, then third from it is what? The social media, right? This is the communication, so it's going together. Now, Aries sign is obviously individuality. It's all about individuality. So this is why a lot of people, they wanted to be free from relationships. They didn't want to get married anymore. They said, we don't get married anymore. We are independent women. We don't need a man. We don't need you. You don't need me. Ciao, bye-bye, okay, divorce, coup, because it's also opposite what? The 7th house of what? Of marriage, of unionship, of relationship. All right? People prioritized themselves because Uranus is saying, I'm making changes here. But now we do know that this year, Uranus entered the Taurus sign, and family life will never ever be the same. Again, we do know this, we do understand this, we do agree on this. Family life will never ever be the same again. Whatever we knew about family life, we will no longer know it again. But it also means that anything that's happening psychologically to you, to me, to the world is also going to change. Why? Because the 8th house is about psychology, and it is opposite now the Uranus sign. So we're going to see a whole lot of rapid transformations taking place also in marriage lives, like in staying together, because we must remember the 8th house remains the shared life. So people now will rearrange or redefine what it is to be in a shared marriage. This is wonderful news, but at the same time, if you are not ready for that change, this is going to cripple you. Why? Because we must remember at all times a beautiful thing about Uranus, which is what? Which is that it has 4 seasons. You remember this? It has 4 seasons. Just like we have 4 seasons on Earth, Uranus also has 4 seasons: summer, spring, autumn, winter. And so within these 84 years of rotation around the sun, orbiting the sun, and we do know Uranus is like going sideways. We know that. We know it's not going in a usual way like the other planets. Oh no, why should it go like the other ones? It's different. It brings change. It brings things that are different. So of course it's also going to behave differently. But just like Venus is also going in a retrograde motion. That's how it's going. Backwards. It's never going forward like the other planets. But funnily enough, in our softwares, we never show the retrograde motion of Venus and Uranus. I wonder why. Venus and Uranus, they don't move forward like Jupiter, Mercury, and of course we do know these ones, they go retrograde at some points. Like right now, Mercury is going retrograde, Jupiter is going retrograde right now as we speak, right? Neptune retrograde. But what you don't know is that Venus and Uranus, they are always moving in a retrograde motion. all the time. But you never see this in the softwares. But you do know that at some point they go retrograde as well, but in essence, they are already moving in a retrograde motion. So that's another technical insight, and that is, obviously opened for you and myself to discuss further, because as researchers, that's what we do. We talk about things, we discuss these things. So, as it has 4 seasons, this Uranus, we also know that each season will always have its qualities that are different from the other seasons. Just like on Earth. So it means that within an 84-year period of Uranus going around the zodiac cycle, 21 years for each season. That makes up 84, right? That goes up to 84, because it will take 21 years to finish each season. But what's important now to remember, as many of you know, because I know that you guys know, I know that you who watch my channel, you know a lot of information. You are the teachers of astrology, you are the teachers of whatever, you're the healers, you are the researchers. I don't think I have a lot of people who are new or students on my channel. I have many people who are advanced. Why? Oh, I let you tell me why. Because Gemini ascendant, I'm facing what in my life? Sagittarius. And who is Sagittarius? Sagittarius is the teacher. Sagittarius is the motivational speaker. Sagittarius is the guru. So anyone that I interact with, they already have so much knowledge that they can teach me. That's why I'm so confident at all times that I have here, you guys watching, you already know stuff. You are high in your life, in your positions in life. You are the directors and the CEOs and the leaders and the entrepreneurs. You are just people who are wise. So, because then I know that you have knowledge, you do also know that 42 years of Uranus, 42 years of Uranus gives a tough period, very tough, very tough period. So this is why you see that in the economy, it takes a whole lot of years for many countries to be able to see what they've been working for. When you vote, you say, why am I not seeing change? We've been voting, we don't see change. When is it going to come? And then we, the astrology practitioners, we come and we say, hold on. Remember, Uranus has 42 years that is just, experiencing things, struggling with stuff. 42. Give it time. This is why a whole lot of countries that are known to be communist countries, they do well because they have enough time to gather the 42 years of Uranus and go with its seasons and change with its seasons within that 42 years and prepare and do everything, collect resources, train the people, gather your man, give them skill sets within the changes of Uranus. And then after 42 years, then you see, oh wow, China has built its infrastructure. They have everything because they never changed the president. They never changed the government. It's been years and years. And then you have countries such as Zimbabwe that instead of going up because of having the same president for many years, they're going down once in terms of economy. Why? Because the other 42 years of Uranus is actually a dark period. Why is that? We must remember what happens up there. The 42 years, half of the orbit period, 42 years, Uranus will be directly exposed to the sun, which means one side of it, because one pole is going to be exposed to the sun for 42 years. And then the other side is in the total darkness. Now, we know, and we must remember, if we don't know, that Uranus is made up of ice. It's very icy. So imagine now, if it's away from the sun, things really get cold, very disturbing, very uncomfortable. So this is why you see some economies going down and countries disappear in terms of economical structure. We don't know that, right? Because when you don't have resources anymore, there's no sunlight. What is sun giving us? What is sun giving to us? Life, vitamin D, vibrancy, direction, because when it is daylight, we can see where we're going. Right? We can see where we're going. Oh, I'm going there. I can see where I'm going. You walk, you see, because the light is in front of you. But when it's totally dark around you, you don't see where you're going. You're stumbling, you're falling, you're trying to find your way. And when it comes to economical structure, relationships, values, anything that we value and that we know, we lose it because we can't see. Are we touching the right part? For me to be able to hold onto this thing, I can't tell. It's too dark or it's too cold. I don't even want to take out my hand. This is why many economical structures disappear or build up, then stumble and fall because of that change, and probably is the 42-year period that they're experiencing. Because as we know, as we know, or if we don't know, then we must remember that when it's springtime, there's quite a lot of, gathering of, like clouds. I would say it's not really clouds, but clouds up there gathering together. Atmosphere is a bit stable. And then when it's about to be winter time, lots of storms. So this is when you see things just falling apart. So as we're going into this 7-year period of Taurus hosting Uranus, we are going to definitely see huge differences in our structure, in our families, in our intimacies, in our home life, in our relationships with the family, extended family members. Things are going to shake up. And of course, it depends on what is happening in your personal chart as well, right? Because we have different charts that are determining the overall outcome. Da la 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 la, da la 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 la. But when you think of how do I navigate this change of Uranus, so when it comes to countries, we must assess what point are we in terms of the cycle of Uranus. Which season? Right? Because Uranus itself is about disruptions. We must remember this. It is the core ruler of the Aquarius signs. Aquarius sign. It's not a lot of signs, just one. And the Uranus sign co-ruling Aquarius is also about placing changes that will affect people, because Aquarius is about people, the community. Can't deny that. So it will always take that energy of Aquarius wherever it goes. It's going to Taurus, it's coming with that Aquarius vibe. It's moving to Gemini in the next 7 years. It's going to take that Aquarius vibe, and it's going to do well actually, but now it's going to stumble. So a lot of family structures are going to be tested, because Taurus is fixed. As a fixed sign, people like to feel comfortable with their families. They don't want to be, put upside down, turned sideways. The way Uranus moves sideways. That's how it moves. Others are turning nicely. No, Uranus is like comme ça. You guys, we need to put on our thinking caps as the astrology society, because like I said the last time, we have so much work to do, but the work that we need to do is not only about our families, our relationships. Yes, this channel is about that, but it is also about our community. We have all of this knowledge, we have all of this information. How do we make changes, real changes in our communities in real life, using the information that we are lucky to have? How do we take all of this information and place it in real life to make real life changes in our families. And of course, with YouTube and other channels, we are able to talk about it, to impact one person at a time. But we need also gathering for communities, because remember, Uranus is about what? Gathering communities. As I said just now, it co-rules the Aquarius sign. So in order then to be able to provide solutions for the changes that are going to be happening in our families due to Uranus that are uncontrollable, because you cannot contain the energy of Uranus, you cannot stop it. It is a planet that does its own thing. You can't control it. It will happen anyway. But how do you redirect that energy as communities to help our communities? Because that's the idea here. Wherever it goes, it is calling upon that sign to focus on empowering the community, innovating the community, or pushing the communities towards innovation. So then how do we make that innovation good for us as people, for our communities? That's the question that we need to solve as a community, as you, me, together, because that's all. Aquarius is about togetherness. It's not about doing your own thing alone. No, it's about doing your own thing as an individual, but with your community. Lots of work to do. Lots of work to do. Are you ready to work? Are you ready to work? And don't expect to work in a traditional way whereby, everything is expected to go smoothly. This is Uranus that we're talking about. We need to think outside of the box, because Uranus is about thinking outside of the box. So ladies and gentlemen, do you have your innovative caps on? I challenge you to reflect on this. With that said, I thank you. I will chat to you soon with the normal program. And of course, this is Mita. Check out my website for bookings. And a bientôt, and ciao, and ciao, and ciao, ciao, ciao.